So, like I said, Jay and Annie Adkins. Annie is my business partner and also my wife. And we have been in business for, this is actually our 20th year in real estate.
Can you do presentation mode?
Oh, yeah. Let me see here.
Go to,
what do I do?
Go to slide at the top.
Slide?
Yeah, go to slide at the top.
Okay, thanks. I'm not technically savvy.
Or no, maybe not slide. What is it?
I'm in Google.
Yeah,
Google.
you're slides. So it goes to, I guess, is it format? It's one of those.
Okay.
Oh, actually present in the top right.
Present. Oh, okay. Thank you.
There you go. Now you're talking. All right, perfect. There you go. It looks beautiful.
As you can see, I'm not a professional presenter, but I am a professional real estate investor, and I'm very good.
There you go. Now you're talking.
So that's why I'm here. So, yeah, we've been in the real estate industry for 20 years, Annie and myself, and we're Amazon best-selling authors. Our book is available on Amazon if you'd like it, and it's based on just forming your vision for your life. Some great stories in there of other business owners as well, overcoming obstacles and how you can do that for yourself. We do some online courses, and we have a mastermind group here in Ohio, coaching mastermind group, and we teach people all over the United States how to invest in real estate. Primarily, we focus on, we started with rentals 20 years ago. So we started building a rental portfolio, and then as the market started to rebound and shift, then we started to introduce other strategies such as buy, fix, and sell. When the market was down, we were also doing lease options, subject tos, and land contracts and trusts. And so we have some very good creative strategies that we use to acquire property. And we also began our real estate career when we first started investing. Annie got her mortgage license and I got my real estate license. We still have our real estate team. We still do some brokering of hard money and private money loans, primarily for our coaching group. And we also have expanded into vacation rental homes. So our last presentation with this group was on vacation rental homes, but today I want to focus on fix and flip. So first I want to start with the same topic as the book. So your business vision and personal vision. So I think you need a solid foundation. Like, why are you doing this? Okay. What's the purpose of it? Some people, it is to build long-term wealth over time and to build something of a legacy for their family. And so that's a great strategy if that's you. Some people want to do it to help pay for tuition for their children, maybe pay off some extra debts. Maybe you'd want to buy a new car. We got into it to build long-term wealth. Just to be honest, I was never a good cash money saver. So for me, buying real estate was a great option to build wealth, because you can't just go and cash in your house in one day if you need some money, right? So this was a great way for us to build a legacy for our family. And then we started doing flips so that we could acquire more cash, and then that would allow us to buy more rentals. So you have to ask yourself, why are you doing this, right? And that is what the foundation of what you're doing is about. What's your 1-year goal, 3-year, 5-year, 10-year? And then map out your business around that. So write down, how much time do you have available in order to execute your new business or expand your current business? What's your monthly budget for business expenses? what is your credit rating and reserves? So there's lots of ways to flip properties. We have students in our group that have no experience. Some of them even lost their job when they started. So we sit down and talk to them about, what do you have available? What are your resources? And then we can target them with certain lenders who offer loan products for someone who's new. I don't know how many of you have spoken with lenders and they say, well, we want to see your last 3 to 5 flips, right? Some of them want only experienced investors. And then some people have done that, and then that opens up other possibilities for loan products for them, such as a line of credit. So as an example, if you've flipped 3 to 5 houses in the last 24 to 36 months, we have resources where you could get a line of credit based on the volume of business that you've done. And some lenders will lend just based on the fact that you have a decent credit score. And decent, I mean, I know a number of lenders that will go down to 640 or 650. And those loans are based more on the asset that you're purchasing. So are you all in to buy and fix for under 65% of the ARV, which is short for the after repair value? And so if you're going to buy a home that's going to be worth, just for easy math, $100,000, that lender will lend to you without any experience, possibly up to $65,000 or $70,000. So that means you want to buy it and fix it for $65,000 to $70,000. You sell it for $100,000. That lender gets paid. And many new people mistaken that if you sell it for 100 and you have 70 in it, that you get 30,000. Well, that's not accurate. You have selling expenses, title insurance to pay for, depending on the region that you're in. Some is seller paid, some's buyer paid. You may have closing costs. And so typically we're averaging around 10% selling expenses for us in our area. Okay. But if you have a higher credit score and you have reserves, then it opens you up to possible bank funding. And then so you have to decide, where are you at in your career and your personal finances and your personal credit and your job history. And so which lenders are going to be a good match for you? I can guarantee you, you can do a deal no matter what your situation, period. If you don't believe that, it is a limiting belief, but I know it for a fact. And this right here might be your key here in the middle, the joint venture ? Okay, so what capital sources do you have? Are you paying cash? Are you doing a joint venture? Are you using private money? So a joint venture is how I got started the second time. Annie and I started, like we said, 20 years ago. And we got into some ARM loans, and ARM is short for adjustable rate mortgage. I was new then, like many of you may be now, and I didn't understand the implications of that and what could occur. Basically, I didn't read the fine print. Okay, so read the fine print, understand what you're signing. So we had a number of homes that, say we had a $750 payment on, and then the rate was adjusting every 6 months. Some have some that adjust every 6 months, every year, every 5 years. And so you want to get all of that data and figure out, does this make sense for me? Okay. So I had loans that were adjusting every 6 months. And so within a year and a half, my payments went from $750, and I say I'm charging $1,050 a month for rent. So it's great. I'm making $300 a month cash flow. Well, then suddenly 18 months later, my payment is $1,250 and my rent is $1,050. Okay. And so I go from making $300 a month to negative $200 a month, right? And then tenants move out, properties get torn up. And so in that scenario, I had not been prepared. I did not have enough cash reserves and I lost those properties. So circling back to my point, I had to do joint ventures because my credit was destroyed. Okay, I couldn't get even a personal loan. We lost our own house to foreclosure. We didn't know what a short sale was. And so we had to start over, and I started over with joint ventures. So that is, you find a money partner, they fund the purchase, they fund the rehab, you manage the project and or you do the work. So it could be a hybrid. Some of our students sub everything out to a general contractor, and some of them do some parts. As an example, like they might do the flooring and paint, and then the licensed items will be done by a professional, like the plumbing, electric. And so know your codes as well in your local market and what you personally as the owner are allowed to do on that particular project yourself. Okay. And then other options for funding would be private money. And that may be people that you know, typically. That's going to be someone that might have a retirement fund. They left a job, it's just sitting there, and they're not doing anything with it. We partner a lot with people that have 401ks, self-directed IRAs. And so those are some more advanced tactics where you can have a retirement fund and you can loan money to people through that fund. And then hard money, obviously there's local, regional, and national hard money lenders. So you want to talk to them and find out what their terms are. Okay. And we'll circle back to some of that here in a bit. I'm going to, any questions yet, or just keep going here, Stacy? Oh, here's one.
Sorry about that. I couldn't unmute myself.
No, you're fine.
Okay, we do have one question. Can you share where you your list? Wait, he lists some of the recommended lenders.
Yes. So I can tell you a couple. There's Allure Financial in Texas, and so they're
nationwide.
Yeah, they go. I'm pretty sure that they go nationwide. Allure. And you guys can email me too. I can send you some others later on. I'll have all of that on the last slide that I have. Okay.
Perfect. And then also, just so everybody knows, we do have some sponsors that are nationwide lenders as well. So if you go to the sponsors page for REI USA, then you'll find like 5 or 6 sponsors that will lend to you.
Yeah, and that's great. I would call them and say, hey, I'm getting trained by Stacy and her crew of investor trainers.
Yes.
Right. So I'm learning what to do and what not to do. And they recommended that I call you and develop a relationship with you.
Yes,
okay?
I love it. Perfect. Do that.
So you definitely want to develop relationships with your lenders. They can really make or break a deal for you, and learn what their terms are. Okay. So, there's one lender I like to use, but I didn't even know this. I've used them numerous times, but typically when we buy a flip, it's empty and we fix it up and sell it. Well, this one in particular, we were going to fund, and it had a tenant in it, and we were going to fix it while the tenant was still living there so that we could collect rent while we're rehabbing. It was a very light rehab. 80% of it was on the outside. And the lender said, well, you had me until you said it was rented, and our insurance policy won't allow us to lend to you if the property's occupied. So I had to take that to one of my other preferred lenders. Okay. So that's why it's good to interview them and know what they have to offer. But I want to talk about setting up your day and your team's day. Okay. So what hours are you going to work every day, every week? Set your goals, your annual goal. What's your one year goal? What's your 3-year? Preferably if you can go out 5 or 10 years, that would be ideal. Doesn't mean it's set in stone, right? You can always change your goals, but if you don't have any 10-year goals written down, then you don't have a long-term wealth building system in place to follow. And so you can get off track easier if you don't have something written out as to what you're going to do. Okay. So team schedule, and this is for you as well, daily tasks and new business implementation, right? So Annie and I have flipped about right around 25 homes in the last 3 years. So we're averaging about 8 homes a year on top of adding rentals. We've added 10 rentals this year. I have a goal for 14 more. And so I'm already ahead of my monthly goal and my quarterly goal. Well, now it's May, so after the end of May, then I'll be on target, right? But I am ahead of my goal a little bit. And then what's my weekly goal and daily goal? So how many sellers are you going to talk to? How many properties are you going to look at? You can't guarantee how many houses you're going to get, right? Obviously, my goal of 24 properties is great, but that's not something that you can necessarily measure. You can measure it by, am I getting 2 properties a month? But how many sellers do I have to talk to, and how many appointments do I have to go on in order to get 2 properties per month? And that is the data that you're looking for, right? So I know if I talk to 20 sellers a month, I'm usually going to be able to get 2 of those sellers to sell me their property. Okay. And so then how many leads do you have to talk to, or how many leads do you have to look at in order to get 20 seller appointments, right? So those are the things that you're going to map out in your daily tasks. And then you want to have a weekly review. That's what we recommend to our coaching group. Look at your goals and your task list per week. So maybe as an example, this week I am in, Annie and I are in our own mastermind group. Yes, we get coached too. All right. Don't hire a coach that isn't coached. Right. And don't hire a coach that isn't doing the business that you want to do actively. Those are some of my recommendations for you. All right. You want someone who's in the trenches every day doing it and knows what's happening in the marketplace and knows changes as they're coming daily, right? So map out your business, delegate tasks you don't like, and figure out what's the highest and best use of your time within your business. So as an example, Annie is very good at systems, processes, and procedures and implementation. I am very good at ideas, sales, marketing, talking to sellers, negotiations. And so that's my wheelhouse. So Annie would never go on a seller appointment. That would be like the worst thing that she could imagine doing. Okay, so I'm just saying that because you have to figure out what is your personality type and what things are you going to be best at and what's the highest and best use of your time, right? Another example is me going on Facebook and looking for potential house leads isn't the highest and best use of my time, because I can pay someone between $5 and $12 an hour, depending on if I'm using virtual assistants overseas or if I'm using one of my administrative staff here locally that works in my office every day. So you have to figure out how much time do you have and what parts can you sub out. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't have to do it in the beginning. I would recommend that you either do it yourself first and then create a video system and procedure for how it's going to be done moving forward, or hire a professional lead source team that already knows what they're doing. They know more than you do, probably, and they'll get the list for you. They'll do the calls. They'll bring the trained VA, and then they'll send you hot leads where people have raised their hand and said, yes, I'm interested in hearing what you have to offer, and I'm interested in selling you my property. That's how I like to do it. I like to talk to sellers. I like to negotiate. And so that is my wheelhouse. And that's what makes me happy and makes me feel fulfilled. One deep reason for that is because I lost my house in the past and no one was there to help me. And so that's one reason why I got into this business even deeper after it happened to me. Number one, I wanted to figure out, why did this happen to me, and how can I make adjustments in my business, and how can I prevent others from going through this treacherous, stressful, anxious-filled time in my life? How can I help others avoid that? So the core of our business is truly being a servant to the sellers, a servant to the buyers, right? And helping them navigate through the complexities and the personalities and you know, all of the things that are involved in a real estate transaction. Does that make sense?
Got it.
So A players on your team, right? Let's talk about that. Agents are extremely key. Not all agents are built the same. So make sure you're interviewing them and finding out what their experience is. Contractors, a huge part of fix and flip, and contractors will make or break you. And if anyone else has done flips, I'm sure they're like, amen, brother Jay. So you want to find excellent contractors to work with. Other players on your team would be your local banks or credit unions, your hard money lenders, your private money lenders, title companies. Okay. I do some combination marketing with title companies. So they'll usually even provide lists for free to mail to, or call or text, or whatever you want to do. And caution on that, there's regulations changing on cold calling and texting. And so make sure that you're compliant with that and the do not call. So those items are currently being changed. In fact, they had an article this morning on NBC that if you receive more than one robocall in a year from the same place, you can turn them in as a consumer and get paid $500. So they are offering money to consumers to turn you in for your transgressions. So be careful of that. And make sure you know the laws that are changing. And also direct mail houses, virtual assistants, all of those people are team players on our team, right? So there's direct mail houses that will tell you that these are the hottest postcards that are being used, or these are the hottest letters, and they'll help you navigate through. They'll do a graphics design, they'll help you pick colors, help you produce your mailing. And so that's a great asset to have. And we will partner with our title company and let them put their information on one side of the postcard and ours on the other, and they'll pay for part of our marketing campaign. which allows you to expand your marketing and do twice as much mail. Okay. So consider that as well when you're building your team or expanding your team. How are we finding deals, right? Believe it or not, we still have deals popping up on the MLS. Our students are still getting deals there. We are too. There's not very many, but there are some, and you just have to be very fast and be ready. And I will tell you that we will typically waive the inspection period, but we will have a private money lending financing out also. So they do like to see that there's no inspection clause. You know, we won't cancel because of inspections, but I still can cancel my deal if I'm doing a private or hard money loan, because it's contingent on my lender approving my deal. Okay. Auctions are a great source. Be a little more careful there. They usually require a much larger down payment that is non-refundable. And so you want to read the terms of their auction. Here's a good example. One of our coaching students was going to purchase a home on auction, and all of the inspections had to be done prior to. There was no inspection release clause. And this one in particular had a septic system. And so we recommended to the student, hey, if you really want to get this deal, then you absolutely need to get a septic inspection and get it with a camera, because not all septic inspections are created equal. All right. Our local health department will go and inspect for you. They run the water for 15 minutes and they pour a little red dye down the drain with a little dish soap. And they wait 20 minutes for something to surface up at the top of the ground. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I was taught that water runs downhill. And so if there happens to be a crack or leak, I don't think that's effective. It's going to go underneath the septic. And so we only use camera systems. It goes right down and you can see any breaks or cracks in the lines. And that has literally saved a number of our students from making 30,000 on a flip to potentially making nothing or even owing at closing. Okay, so that's a big one. So just know the terms of the auctions and what are the ins and outs, and you know, will they allow financing or is it cash only? And so those are always published ahead of time, and you can find that out. We do like sheriff sales too. Those are typically not able to be entered into the home. We do have strategies to get in before, and that's just negotiating with the seller, stating that, hey, we'll give cash for keys for you. If we end up buying the house, we'll give you money to help you move. Okay, because we have to pay someone to clean it out anyway. I'd rather pay the homeowner, have them clean it out. They hand us the keys, broom swept. We give them $2,000 or $3,000. And a lot of times we can even provide them with housing because we have a lot of rentals. So we'll try to negotiate something with them if it makes sense, right? So that enables us to get in the house before it goes to foreclosure, and we can view it and see what all it entails. And if there is enough time, we could possibly try to do a short sale as well and stop the foreclosure. But that's a whole nother course that David Randolph will go over with you later, if he didn't already. I saw him on the list today. He's extremely talented with short sales. And so other lists that we utilize, tax delinquent. Okay. Those are sometimes these are harder to get. So you may have to call around a few times. Like we received 4 or 5 no's from county workers until we found the person that could say, yes, we do have that available. All right. So don't give up on the first no. So tax delinquent list, code violations is another great one you can get from property maintenance or the health department. And the land bank, that is typically a property that's been acquired back to the city for non-paid taxes and or so many code violations that they owed so much money to the city that the city just took possession of the property. And then some other optional ones are SEO, search engine optimization, okay? Or Facebook organic, join local Facebook groups. You can do paid ads as well. Cold calling, voice blast, text blast, PPC is pay-per-click. So you can set a budget, and that's a great option if you're just getting started and you only need a small number of leads. You can set a certain budget, and once you get your leads, you can actually shut that off. Give me one moment here. I've got a barking dog I'm going to try to deal with here.
He's talking to you. That's how my dogs are too.
Annoying me. Okay, so any questions on that so far?
Let me check. Hang on. One. Just the only question we got was how to spell the name of the company in Texas. You said Allure, right? ALLURE or what?
ALLURE.
Yeah. Okay. Other than that, no other questions.
Either that or Allura. And if I'm wrong, I'll again I'll shoot that out later.
I just posted into the chat and into the Facebook group. You have access to the Facebook group, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then post it there maybe, and then maybe we can contact them to see if they want to be a sponsor for REI.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they have numerous programs, just individual fix and flips, or you can get a line of credit. So as an example, I can get like a $3 to $5 million line of credit from them.
Oh, cool.
For a year. And I think they reassess every year. So, it's pretty cool. Once you're experienced and you have a track record, then more opportunities open to you because you have shown that you are successful in your business adventures. Okay.
Awesome. Love it. All right. Keep going.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
So once you find a deal, now this is not one I recommend buying, but you should have a script. Like, what are you going to ask them? What questions do you want to know? If you just have a fix and flip strategy, then your questions will probably be a little more limited, but you need to know, like, hey, are you living there or not? Are there tenants there? Have they paid? Are the taxes current? Do you have any judgments? Why are you selling it? When are you living there? When do you need to move out? Do you need to stay there for a while? Do you need help finding a property? Like, we focus more on the seller's needs and figuring out how can we get them what they need so that they will sell us their house at the price that we want. Okay. And then property valuation. How do you know what the property's worth? Okay. We recommend to our coaching students that they get their real estate license. That way they have real-time access. You can pull comps. You can list your own properties you're flipping and sell them yourself for extra income. As an example, I'm an agent, like I said. I made about $50,000 last year in commissions just buying and selling my own flips. Okay, so if I didn't have that license, that's $50,000 less income that I have in my household. And I can go look at any property anytime, anywhere, for any reason, without depending on someone else. Okay. And you could use a tool like PropStream. I don't know if any of you have used that, but it can run decent comps. It can also tell you how much the seller owes on the property. But if you pay for that service, it's $1,200 a year. And if you get your real estate license here in Ohio, It's about 2,500 to 3,000 upfront by the time you take the school, and then pay all your first year of dues. And then after that, it's about $1,250 a year. It's the same price as just having a piece of software. Okay. And you have access to make more money, and you don't have to utilize it for anything else if you don't want. Like I don't do buyers. I don't do listings really for other people unless I may know them. But I can refer to other agents that I know, like, and trust, and I can get either a quarter up to a third of their income for signing a piece of paper that takes 5 minutes, referring them over. Okay. Rehab costs, quick calculations and analyzing comps and the products used. Okay. I came in on the tail end of the last person's presentation. I apologize, I didn't get her name, but it was highly effective what she showed you guys. Like, really dive into the comps in the neighborhood that you're looking at. What are those folks using in the homes? Okay, so our first flip here locally, we did travertine stone showers and granite countertops. We didn't know what we were doing. We put all this high-end stuff in, and then I discovered that no one in our town is putting in granite countertops. No one is using travertine stone. So was our house awesome? Yes, but we would have made probably $10,000 more if we just use the simple products that are being used in our marketplace, which in this little town that we live in is just laminate tops. Now, when we do flips in Columbus, it's 40 minutes away. That's nothing but granite or solid stone. If you do laminate, you're not selling your flip, right? So know what the marketplace is calling for, and then you can adjust your rehab budgets according to that. Now, there's some tools that you can use for that. Number one is a great general contractor, and I like to keep it simple. We teach our students to just do some quick base pricing. Like, all right, you're going to put a kitchen in. Now, this is in Ohio, okay? So don't hit me because your cost is higher. But we can do a kitchen for $10,000. We can do a bathroom for about $7,500. We can do a roof for about $10,000 to $15,000, and siding for about $10,000 or $15,000 according to the square footage of the house. So we just give our students quick calculations, like if it's this square feet times it by this, that's the cost of your roof roughly. And so that enables you to establish a quick budget. If you're looking at multiple properties a week, you don't have hours to sit there and, okay, I need 10 doorknobs and I need 10 sets of hinges, right? So you're just getting a base, like, okay, what's it cost to paint it? What's it cost for a electric box upgrade, hot water tank upgrade, furnace and air? And then also now with pricing getting so expensive, what options do you have? Like, the market's so hot right now, we don't have to replace everything in the house. So when we were doing flips in the market crash, yes, we were doing flips in 2009, 10, but it was totally different. We had to change everything, had to be new. We had to have the absolute best house for the lowest price, and that enabled us to sell our houses in 90 days. And average days on market then was 9 months. Okay, that's the difference. Average days on market now is like 9 days, and that's that would be bad if your house is on for 9 days. So that's the difference. So the market's so hot now, we don't have to change out all the furnaces and the air conditioners. If they're slightly old, you can offer a 2-year warranty, home warranty. So you can get away with a lot more is what I'm trying to get at. All right. Contracts and contract strategy. Okay. Again, what does the seller need? When can you close? What's your timeline for this rehab? Okay, so you're going to find that out from your contractors, and then have your funding solutions ready. So before you go start making offers, I would recommend that you have at least 3 lenders that are willing to lend you money. And do they have a limit on the money that they have? We use a lot of private money lenders for our own business because they'll give us money cheaper and faster. But many of them are just like all of us. They're everyday average Joes. They've been saving their money for 15, 20 years, and they have 200, 300, 400, 500,000 in their IRA. And so they're limited on the number of deals that they can fund. Now, a lot of these other national lenders, like Stacy recommended on the site, they typically always have money. Except in April last year when COVID hit, right? Almost all the hard money lenders shut down doing money loans. So that's why it's good to have some friends in your back pocket ready to loan you money when no one else will. So if you're beginning, here's kind of your options. Okay, and I'll go over those briefly. Cash is obvious. If you're going to pay cash, perfect. You'll make the most money if you can pay cash for your properties. Now, if you have some cash, then you can initiate with bank funds, right? And so banks usually going to want 20 to 25% down. And so you can use your cash to fund with the bank, and they want to know that it's your cash, not someone else's cash. That's called sourced and seasoned. Hard money loans. Some hard money lenders will do 100% for the purchase and the rehab. Typically, they're going to want a more stellar borrower. So they're going to want like 680 to 700 credit score. There's no money down, but they want to see that you have at least 6 months of reserves in the bank to make the payments. Private money loan. I got to keep an eye on the time here. I have 10 minutes. Is that right? I think that's correct.
Yes, that's right.
I better hurry up.
It's all good.
So private hard money loans.
I'm next, so it's good if you want to go over a little bit.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Stacy. So most of the hard money lenders, though, want 10% of the purchase price. Okay. However, a lot of them will let you use the 10% down from a private money lender, or if you have a business line of credit, or if you use a personal or business credit card to put the 10% down, they will let you do that. So this is where I'm talking about being creative in your mind with how can I do deals? Not I can't do deals, but how can I, right? Maybe you don't have access to any of this, but you know someone else who wants to get in real estate that has money, and you go, hey, I'm in this coaching group. I'm getting trained by Stacy and Jay and Christy and all these people, and they got these great systems and processes, and let me show you what we're going to do that they taught us. And I'm just telling you, if you go to someone with excitement and energy and a plan and all of that laid out, they're going to want to partner with you. People feed off of that. Okay. They like someone who's confident and driving forward and ready to get it done. Okay. And so that's where those joint ventures are going to come into play. And that could be a family member or a friend. Just make sure you outline in writing what everyone's roles and responsibilities are. We have an entire joint venture agreement that lays out who's responsible for what, who does what happens if it goes over budget, what happens if something goes south, what happens if contractor stops working on the project, lay all of that out. Expectations up front lead to less complications in the future. Okay. And one of my favorites to help people get started is the FHA or conventional rehab loan, otherwise known as a FHA 203K. That'll let you borrow up to $35,000 non-structural for repairs. I'm helping someone with that right now. I'm a licensed contractor as well. So I've actually done the lending on a 203K before when I had my mortgage license, which I don't anymore. I've also been the contractor, and I've also been the agent. So I've seen every side of that. I just haven't personally used that for myself because when I started, I didn't know about it. So that's why I'm telling you. So you could buy a property up to 4 units. You have to agree to live there. And the terms of the FHA say I agree to live there for 12 months. I swear on my life. Not really on your life, but you know what I'm saying. And it's going to be my primary residence. Okay. And they'll give you money to fix it. Now they have a full K as well, which there's no limit on what you can borrow. The limit is based on what's the house going to be worth when you do all of these things. So I'm helping someone else do that now as well as the contractor team. And they'll be changing structures and opening walls. And it's a huge project, like 280 purchase, 250 rehab, and the house is worth like 750 when it's done. So huge project, but that is an option for you to get into multifamily or single family and house hack. And if you live there 2 years as your primary residence and then you sell it and you make $50,000 to $100,000, you don't have to pay any taxes on it because it was your primary residence. Also a huge bonus. Contractors, again, wanted to do a whole slide for this. Interview, ask for 3 references, ask for the detail of work that they did. What work have you done? What was the rehab budget? Okay, what are the names of the people you worked for? What were the dates you did it? What are their phone numbers? Call them and follow up. They're just doing that with me now. They're calling the projects that I did. The FHA underwriting team is calling all of my references to make sure I'm a legit contractor to do this project, right? They're protecting the borrower, all right? So they have a great system for qualification. Just copy and paste, right? In school, they teach you not to copy and paste. Here in real estate, we teach you to copy and paste, okay? That's what you want to do. Expectations set up front. Hey, Mr. Contractor Jay, I want you on the project every day. All right, the FHA says work must begin within 30 days of closing and it must be done within 6 months of closing. That's pretty general. Mine is much more specific. All right. Hey, Eric, my last guy, how long is this project going to take? 60 days. Great. That's 8 weeks. I'll give you 10. If you go past 10, you owe me $200 a day. And that is going to come off of your final payout. And if they're not willing to sign it, then do not work with them. Okay, find someone else. Timelines, that was that. Bonuses. Hey, Eric, if you finish on the 8-week mark, I'll give you a $500 bonus, or I'll give you a $1,000 bonus, or I'll give you 5% of the profits when I sell it. It's your business. You get to be creative. You get to decide what bonuses, what penalties. So entice them to finish early, penalize them for finishing late. Okay. Paperwork, get their licensing, insurance, bond, do a contract, do deadlines, make sure change orders are in place, have them sign lien release waivers. They're going to bring in subs. You want to make sure they paid their subs. Everyone has to sign off. Okay. Have multiple contractors ready. They may be busy. That's why I started my own contracting company and got my license, because I got tired of looking for contractors. So I just built my own team. Okay, I got tired of that. I will be in control of how my deals go. And I did that by building my own contracting team. There's still challenges with that. It's not peaches and cream. Okay. But multiple contractors is a must if you're planning on doing multiple deals, so that you have people in place to execute the work. Okay. And they have some new options you can try, like Build Zoom. Build Zoom. I saw one this morning, an advertisement for Thumbtack. Go on there and hold on one second, please. Okay. So general contracting for yourself. That's another thing you can do. You got a big project, you have experience, you know some about contracting, hire all your own subs. If you have a $50,000 rehab project, you'll probably save about $10,000. It's usually about a 20% markup for the general contractor. So yeah, just keep that in mind. But then your involvement is more, but why not build it into the rehab cost estimate that you are the general contractor and you get paid the general contracting fee. All right. So if you have a kitchen that's 10 grand, put 11. You get it done, you keep 1,000, right? So you can adapt your budget accordingly to build in money so that you get paid when you're doing your flips. That was a mistake I made in the beginning. I didn't pay myself. And so I was broke working on the house until I sold it. And then I got a bunch of money. And then I was working on another house. And then I was broke again. And so we incorporated me getting paid for labor. I did the first 5 myself, and then we expanded and started building teams. And then I still get paid. So I get paid when I buy it because I get a commission. And then I get paid when it closes because I'm the general contractor. So I get paid from each phase. And then when I sell it, I get paid a commission and I get paid the profit. So I have built a system where I have multiple streams of income from one transaction. So determining values, find a good agent, find one with rehab rental experience. They'll be able to guide you through this. Average price per square foot in that neighborhood, days on market, how many days are properties on the market? What listings are out there now? Who's going to be your competition, right? That's not as important now, but we still review it even in this seller's market. Like who else is selling right now, and what kind of finishings do they have? And then what's the largest value adds? Like in our area, we have a lot of older homes that have a kitchen, dining, family room, and living room on the first floor. Well, no one uses all those common spaces anymore. So we look at how can we eliminate one room and then turn that into a master bedroom with a master bath, or how can we eliminate 1.5 rooms, sometimes even 2 rooms. If we can have an eat-in kitchen, then we can make the dining room the living room, and then we can use the family room and the dining room to make a master bed and bath, which then significantly increases the value of the home. And preparing to list. So final punch out, your contractor will tell you it's done. You will go over and you will discover it is not done. And you will make a punch out list and you will give it to your contractor, and then they will do most of it and they will tell you it's done. And then you will come back and find out that almost all of it's done. And then you will make another mini punch out list, right? Staging. You can buy your own personal stuff. Hire a pro stager is the most expensive. We like to utilize rent-a-centers. We'll go in, pick the furniture out, they deliver it, they set it up. It's very inexpensive. We can basically stage a house for about $300 a month instead of paying a professional stager $2,500 to $3,000. Okay. What to stage and how. We usually do 1 bedroom, a master bedroom, the dining room, and the living room. And then we do little knick-knack stuff throughout the house. First impressions, landscape. What are the neighbors planting? We don't usually go crazy with landscaping unless it's a higher end neighborhood, but Annie and I are really targeting the first time home buyer pocket because they don't have a house to sell, and it makes it easier. We already anticipate they're an FHA buyer, so we rehab every house to be FHA compliant. So no peeling, chipping paint outside, handrails in place, all gutters and downspouts on, grading correct, no open junction boxes. That's just a few to start. Then as you're building your team, get testimonials. Hey, Mr. Seller, can you just tell me what it's like to work with us? Would you mind doing a video? You can, and this is literally how I do it. Here, look at me, but I'm gonna record from my phone over here. Will you just say, what was it like to work with me? Go ahead, and I hit record. Oh, it was really great working with Jay. He made it easy. We didn't have to do anything. He told us what to do, where to go, how to do it. Done. Record. You got a testimonial. Same with buyers or buyer agents, and get testimonials from your title agents, realtors. Get testimonials from your contractors, from your bankers, from your money lenders, from your business partners, joint ventures. As a money partner, a joint venture's coming in. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. Great. Here, I'll send you some videos of people I worked with, and you can check it out. Here's their name and phone number. Call them. Like, people want to know how I work. Here's all the people I worked with over the last 2 years. Here's their name and phone numbers and what I did for them. Give them a call. Right? If you're doing the right thing, people are going to they're going to rave about what you do because you help them fulfill a stressful time, or you helped put money in their pocket, and you are easy and great to work with, and they will absolutely do that for you. And then here's how to connect with us, and I'll leave that up while we're doing, if we have time for any additional questions. We have a once a deal checklist. If you guys want that, reach out, we'll get it to you. And I want to answer any questions if we have time. If not, you can also email us or connect. I'm on Facebook, Jay Adkins from Newark, Ohio. Annie's on there, Annie Adkins from Newark, Ohio.
Okay, let me see. Let me check to see if we have any questions. Hang on. Okay, what is the FHA conventional with unlimited funding?
Okay, so FHA, that's called a full K, and that's typically going to be a mortgage broker that's going to do that deal. All right, your local bank is not going to do that deal. Your local credit union is not going to do that deal. That's going to be a mortgage banker, mortgage broker. All right. And like in Ohio, I think there's just a handful of lenders that do those. So you want to connect with them. And I can check too if my source here does other states, but I think they just do Ohio.
What about, it says, as a newbie, can we get a line of credit?
That depends on your personal credit history and your income. I just had someone reach out to me about an unsecured line of credit, but they required 2 years history in the business and at least 30,000 in income and not more than 6 hard inquiries in the last 6 months, I believe. So yes, there are options out there. If you have a property to attach to, they may do that. If you're new, but as a brand new person, you're more than likely to get a line of credit from a local bank in regards to that, or look for some of the specialty bankers. But I will tell you that their rates, be prepared to pay. Like that one in particular I interviewed last week was as an example, on $100,000 loan, they'll give you $100,000 and it's only 6% interest, but they only give you 85,000. They keep 15,000, which is basically 15 points for giving you an unsecured line of credit for 5 years. Any other questions?
I'm sitting here talking and I have them on mute. Awesome. All right. No, if there's no other questions, that's it. So thank you so much for your, your time. I appreciate it. Letting me know. We hope she feels better.
Absolutely, I will.
And if you guys, so just to remind everybody when you meet for your session.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah, when you meet.
If Annie was here, she could tell us.
Okay. She's the master of the calendar.
Yes, I am not a details guy. Like I am the 30,000 foot overview, drive the business forward. But if you ask me like when we're meeting or what time, I don't even know that.
Okay, so it looks like you meet on Wednesday, the 26th.
Okay.
At dun, 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 Wednesday the 26th at 4 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay, good. There you go.
You're like,
I know
okay,
I'll be there. Okay.
I know. So they do the Ohio meeting. Okay. So if you're anywhere in the Midwest, I highly recommend going to that meeting. And then also if you're doing like, if you're interested in investing in Ohio, definitely go to that meeting.
Yeah.
Or, yeah. Anywhere over that area.
Absolutely.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us, taking the time to show everybody kind of how to get started in real estate and rehabbing.
Yeah, no problem, guys. Have a blessed day. And I'm very grateful for you having me here today.
Okay. No problem. Take care.
You too.